live through the struggling.
Contemporary pop culture, whether it's the social media that we can't resist before brushing our teeth in the morning, the fashion that we follow on our favorite high profile people, the music we listen to in the car on the way to a class that starts at 8 a.m. and it's now 7:45, or the heat that the most influential sneakerheads wear in our community and on television. It's something that is constantly around us and is something that we can't really ignore. A part of a larger multi focus study, I am interested in investigating how I can research and discover a link between sneakerheads and sneaker culture with that of the world of academia. Contemporary pop culture is a never ending fountain of resources that can be used to not only bring culture, literacy, and individuality into the classroom, but teach students how to think creatively and critically about the world inside and outside of the classroom. Sneaker culture offers a new and unique focal point to an old and yet current conversation on how we can make education more of a valuable experience that students can identify with academically, socially, and culturally. My methodology for my research consisted of three primary sources of data collection. My three sources of data collection included two interviews, five anonymous field observation notes inside and outside Flight Club Los Angeles on North Fairfax, and a multimodal analysis of three artifacts of photos relating to sneaker culture and how sneaker boutiques are physically laid out with respects to storefront presence. I'm still in the process of finalizing my findings, but one of the things that I learned very early on in the interview process is that the life experiences of sneakerheads oftentimes mirror that of students, especially students from at risk or marginalized communities. I think that this is something that could be used in the classroom to bridge a gap between students and teachers. I believe by meeting students on a common ground, like one that's built on the multiple bricks that make up contemporary pop culture, we can first change the culture of what a classroom is. Then and only then can we start to focus on the content and its quality. When it comes to the theoretical framework for my research, it was primarily based upon two things. One of which was a comprehensive review using case studies of the state of affairs in relations to sneaker culture and creative inquiry in public school education. So, to simplify, I took a look at different case studies that were already attempting to use contemporary pop culture in the classroom. I couldn't find any specifically that looked at sneaker culture, but they were kind of like in the same field or genre of sneaker culture as far as in contemporary pop culture. And then the other theoretical framework that I was looking at is something new that I came across called phenomenography. And phenomenography is based on the study of the different ways in which people think of the world. So, in other words, it aims to discover the qualitatively different ways in which people experience, conceptualize, realize, and understand various aspects of phenomena in the world around them. So, I thought that this is something or would be something interesting to use as a theoretical framework for my research, primarily because it's something new and I have yet to hear about it. And I thought that it would be an interesting take on looking at contemporary pop culture, not necessarily contemporary pop culture as a phenomenon, but how people experience that, and potentially seeing what or which one of my research questions could be answered by implementing this type of framework. To wrap up my presentation, I would like to say that although I answered the questions that sought out to answer with my research, I do feel as though I ended up with a lot more questions than what I started with. And I realized that that's okay because it more so has inspired me to expand this current research that I'm doing. In June in Los Angeles here, there will be an event going on called SneakerCon, and I'll be purchasing my ticket to attend this event. And it's an event where sneakerheads from literally all over the world come and they buy and sell sneakers. So I'm gonna definitely go take my notepad and do some observation notes and potentially hopefully talk to some people. Um, but I do think that this is very important because I feel as though there are many articles and case studies that talk about art in the classroom and even pop culture in the classroom, but there are certain instances of pop culture that don't get mentioned, such as sneaker culture and fashion. And I think that there needs to be more of a systematic approach to understanding these cultures, not for the sole purpose of bringing culture and individuality into the classroom, but bridging the connection to some of the content that is a little bit harder to reach students on. So I do believe that there's a place for this research, and I'm very excited to continue it. And I'm looking forward to your feedback on my video.
Ever since I left Chicago to go to grad school, I've been getting crap about my sneakers. People been telling me, oh, you're materialistic, you're wasting money, and why would you even want to wear something that could possibly cause you harm? But what they didn't get is that sneakers changed my life. Watching Will Smith, Run DMC, and Michael Jordan take over the world and make fresh pair of kicks made me aspire to be something greater than what I was witnessing in my neighborhood. Sneakers helped me with my confidence. They helped me meet new and exciting people. They got me a scholarship. And believe it or not, they even connected me with my long-lost sister. Hell, sneakers paid for a small portion of this project. Can you say that about your vice? So why don't you take a journey with me? And let me see if I can change the perception in your mind of what you think this really is. I think you'll enjoy it.